Right, I bought a new bike. Let's get this out of the way first though. So in the last video we started a build on this Honda QR50, which I believe is from 1997.
Fast lane when I pass in the street, bag of money in the past.
We got it running pretty well in my opinion, so this time we're going to make it look a bit better. Let's get on with the video.
Way up, I might never come down, cause the coast racking up the flame miles. So high,
Alright, so here we have the Honda QR50 we were working on in the last video. So we've got the frame, we got a first coat of paint on it. It looks a little bit better than it did, but we need to get another coat on it just to sort it all out and get it looking properly good. Obviously the bodywork on it is quite rough. It looks like someone's gone over it with a really rough sandpaper. And it's just awful. It's really scratched up. Obviously originally it is red, so we're going to be sorting out that today, and it's been through several different colours on the tank as well, and same with this rear panel. It looks absolutely crap, so we'll get that part. We're going to repaint it, get the frame, last coat of paint on it, sort it out, make it look really good, and hopefully get it near enough done. We've got parts on order, new tyres, inner tubes, all that for it. Whether that'll come today for this video or not, I'm not really sure. If not, that'll be a next video, so let's get on with it. And I believe this still holds the title of being the smallest dirt bike produced by main brand. There is, someone did mention about the Honda Moto Compo. It's like this little suitcase looking thing, but I think this is still holding the champ of being the smallest dirt bike, so I think we'll take that as a win. Right, let's get on with it. Oh, what a mess these panels are in. Definitely get them looking pretty nice. I mean, yeah, it's probably quite controversial, painting the frame with a brush, but I mean, I get good results. What can I say? If you haven't already, now is a brilliant time to go smash that subscribe button. We are well on the way to 1,000 subscribers. Let's do it. There we go, so we've got the white paint double laid on it now, and yeah, it's not perfect, but it looks a crap ton better than it did. And to be honest with you, for hand paint, it actually doesn't look too bad at all, really. And once it's covered in mud, and you got your little 4 or 5 year old riding it, I mean, what difference is it going to make? Don't worry about this sort of little bit of paint there. We're taking this casing off here, and we're going to repaint that as well. We're going to get that black. But yeah, I think that looks much better than it did before. Right, let's get on with the panels. Right, so next on the list we need to get these panels ready for paint, and they are really bad. They've just got so many of these really deep gouges in them. That's not going to be very much fun to get out. But I mean, first things first, I'm gonna get a knife and scrape it a bit and just try and get the worst of the grooves off it, because we're going to be here for absolutely days trying to sand this down. Yeah, let's get on with it. So all we're going to do is scrape off the worst of the grooves in the plastics, try and get it a bit smoother, ready, so we can go ahead, hit it with sandpaper, get a bit of paint on it, get her looking absolutely mint. Right, so there you go. As you can see, all we're doing is just trying to get rid of the high spots, so that's quite smooth there. As you can see there's just lots of really deep grooves and gouges all along here. You can hear that, and we can scrape it off like that, just to get a bit more of a smooth surface, ready for sanding it and getting a really nice finish on it, and then we can paint it. Probably just going to put lacquer over the red that's currently there, I think. Just kind of try and keep it a bit more original. But anyway, for now, let's just get this all scraped down and get it sorted so it's just a bit smoother, and then we'll start tackling it with sandpaper.
sit back, enjoy the ride. We're on our way. One track, no turning back. Forget yesterday. Unknown destination.
Right, I think you get the idea. Yeah, getting there. It's taking ages, so I think I'm just going to skip. I'm going to get it all done, and I'll put it back on when I'm finished. I don't think you want to watch me scratching plastic for about the next 2 hours. Right, let's get this done. My God, that took a while, but we have got it somewhat bit better compared to what it was before. I mean, it's like night and day. I mean, this is what it was like before. It was this rough, ugly stuff, and we've kind of got a fair bit of the colour back. Obviously, it needs sanding still, but we've got most of the deep gouges out. These little bits in here are really hard to get, so I'm going to try and just keep going back and forwards with sandpaper on that. But we've got most of the worst of it out. Now, I can't decide, because the red is quite dull, and it's always going to be quite dull. And you can't really paint this sort of stuff with normal paint, because when it flexes, it's just going to crack off. Because obviously this is all quite flimsy, and a kid's going to have it most likely, so when you have a little crash, things are going to be bending and flexing around, and all the paint will just crack off and look crap. So what I do have is this Tamiya paint, which is for RC cars, but the idea is it's for the polycarbonate shells, which flex a lot. So this stuff has got quite a lot of give in the paint, so it won't crack and split off. I'm thinking I'm going to paint it in this. And then obviously we'll have white panels, white frame, so that just means we need to get some sort of decals on the side, give it a bit of colour, which can definitely be done. So I think that is probably what we're going to do. So we'll go ahead and we'll get this sanded down up to 400 grit of sandpaper, and then we'll get some paint on it. Oh, my wrists are killing me already. Right, let's get on with it. So now we have got ourselves a new game plan. We are going to go ahead and get everything sanded down to about 400 grit sandpaper, get it all nice and smooth, get it ready for paint, make this thing look absolutely amazing. So you may have noticed I keep dipping the sandpaper in water, and that is because it stops the emery paper, the little grains on it, getting clogged up with bits of debris, paper and plastic and whatever you're sanding. Stops it getting clogged up, means it's just going to be more effective over longer, and you're not kind of scrubbing, doesn't make dust, it's a bit cleaner, that sort of thing. Now it's just time to get everything dry, so let's do that. Now we're all dry, we save the best for last. Let's get this thing painted. There we are, so for our first coat we just want to do a really thin dusting. This just kind of gives the second coat a bit more surface area, something to stick to, acts as a bit of an etch primer. Now I've given the first coat about 10-15 minutes to dry. We're ready to go ahead and get a nice thick second coat on. This will start to give you a bit of colour. Let's do it. There we are, so that's 2 coats on, looking alright. I think you get the process. We're just going to keep doing this over and over again until we get a nice solid colour, no sort of flat spots or low spots or any colour poking through. Just kind of keep putting layers on until you're happy. Make sure you give a good bit of time in between coats and you'll be sorted. So let's get this thing done. Now it has come time to do the fuel tank, so I've actually left it like this. So I started sanding it all off. I was going to get it back down to bare red and then just lacquer it, but I actually quite like this effect. You're going to have to let me know what you think of it in the comments down below, but I quite like it. So we're going to degrease it and then we're going to start getting the paint on. Same process as before. Now just a quick blast with the hot air gun. Make sure you've emptied the fuel tank before you do anything with heat or fire involved. Since we're not changing the colour of this tank, we're just going to go ahead and put some petrol resistant lacquer on it. You have to use this because normal lacquer just goes gummy when you spill fuel on it, just to give it a nice shiny finish and protect it a bit. There we go, so for the first coat, we just want to do a really nice thin dusting of lacquer. It just gives the second coat a bit of surface area to stick to. So let's just go put this away now. There we are, put it on a go-kart. Still a little bit unsure what I think about it. I can't tell whether it looks like it's just absolute shit or it actually looks quite cool. I don't know. I quite like it though. I think we're going to leave it like that, personally. It gives it a bit of pop, because most of the rest of the bike is going to be white, so it gives it something to look at. Bit of a attention grabber. I like it. There we go, so now we can lay into our second coat. We don't want to be putting too heavy a coat of lacquer on, because you will get dripped and it will just look crap. It will ruin the whole look. Now for our fifth and final coat of the little tail panel. The last but not least, we've got this front mudguard, which is looking absolutely destroyed. So we will go ahead and do the same procedure with the knife. Just scrape a bit of that roughness off, sand it all smooth, and we'll paint that white to go with the rest of the panels. Let's get on with it. We go, one more coat on the tail panels. Right, so we've got the rest of it in decent presentable condition, and we've got the front mudguard in better than it was at least. So we're just going to go hit it with 400 grit sandpaper, get this thing nice and smooth, get some paint on it. Now we're just going to degrease it all, ready for paint. Then just a quick dry off with a hot air gun. And then it's time to paint, and again we're just putting one light coat at first, just to help give the second coat a bit more surface area to stick to. Oh, look at all that Honda we've collected. Look at that, bloody Nora. There we go, that's the last coat done, so we'll just let that dry off and we can get it back on the bike. I've got to admit, something that's been bugging me ever since I bought this was this red electrical tape. It just looks crap and it stands out like a sore thumb. So we're just going to cover it in black, tidy it up a little bit. But yeah, so all in, pretty good build so far. We're getting very good progress. It's looking a lot better than it was in the first place. So in the next video, we will be finishing this with plenty of new bits. Get this thing looking absolutely tip-top shape. Well, somewhat. We've got to figure something to the seat, because you can't actually find, I can't find a seat anywhere for it. But yeah, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the next video on this thing. Smash that like button. Comment if you think there's anything we should do with this. Got any cool ideas with it, let me know in the comments down below. Right, see you in the next video, guys. Bye.